the EastEnders storyline just vanished. Not my words, the words of Worried Beyond 4541. And they left a lovely comment.
Whoa, they didn't say vanish. That was me. Don't give the Reddit any credit.
Okay, Ash come up with the title, but the original...
Thank you.
The original title that Worried Beyond 4541 says is storylines and characters who just disappear / gets forgotten, even though it makes no sense. Obviously, that didn't work as a YouTube title, so Ash obviously just put the existential storylines just vanished. So yeah.
Which is a better title.
It is. So, and also you may notice the Reddit overlay is a bit different because Reddit had a weird update, who cares? And they say, I love how hilariously chaotic and fickle Soapland is, and how some huge storylines just sort of get forgotten or massively played down. My current faves are, can I say this? No, I can't. Ravi almost attempting the life of Eve in the woods, literally about to straight up game end her, and yet now they're like, nah, we're all one big family. Attempted murder.
I felt like I had to censor offing. Of all of them, I think that was the lowest priority.
Ravi also offed Franveer and Kirat, serving time for it. Does Ravi know? Suki knows. Does Suki remember if it was Ravi? Or remember Kirat for that matter? I've lost track, but I love literally no one seems to care about any part of that storyline anymore. Also, what the fiddlesticks happened to Nina? I don't know if YouTube likes the word hell. Prior to Felix leaving, he literally never mentioned his brother again after the Panesar ran him out of town. I had to Google what his brother was called. Didn't I? Just never spoken of again. I'm sure there are more. Mine are very Panesar heavy. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, a lot of Ravi in there. A lot of like leaning looks on Ravi. Look, the thing with Ravi and Eve basically agreed, look, that was messed up, but it was Nish's doing. It was basically me or him, you know? So at that point, they kind of reached that understanding. Then when at Christmas, kind of Suki, Ravi kind of fought Nish to try and save Suki, he pretty much unveiled himself as an ally. And I mean, everything from their interactions now, at this point, it's probably quite clear that Ravi and Eve are fine. They're never going to be mates. He did still try to kill her, hypothetically speaking.
In Minecraft.
But they aren't going to despise each other. He did. And also, one thing I will say, he didn't actually do it, did he? He didn't actually do it. So he had the option. He chose against it. So I don't know. Like, I wouldn't be his best mate, but I don't think anybody is Ravi's best mate. Ravi's best mate is himself and his pecs.
And his hair.
True. Ravi killing Ranveer and Carrot some time for it. Suki, does Suki even know that Ravi killed Ranveer? I don't think so. I think that was kind of hidden from her up to that point. She operated on the idea that she was at fault because she did hit him over the head. Then it was obviously Ravi who did it in the end. She is obviously upset that Kirat went to prison for this crime because this was a Nish way of solving the problem, and this was a Kirat way of kind of sorting things and allowing so Suki can continue and Eve can continue. It was a method. It was a bit of Panesar trickery. And of course nobody cares about that story anymore. It's been about 2 years, boys. Time's passed. You're not waking up every day remembering what happened 2 years ago. Also, one thing I will say, and I know it's kind of it's not necessarily a shitty thing, but it is kind of like a jokey thing. I do love how most of Reddit comments come from the fact of someone going, now I don't fully remember this, but isn't it really dumb that they've forgotten? It's like, you've forgotten about the thing. You've forgotten. You're saying the show forgot. You're blaming the fucking show for your bad memory. Like every Redditor, they do it. You miss something key. You miss something really simple, and then you go, Did they just eradicate this? God, the writers are so dumb. It's projection. You're projecting that the writers forgot when you just forgot. I hate it. I hate the Redditor mentality. It's not that you're wrong. It's that they're doing something wrong. It's like, well, no. It's just not how it works. Sorry. And what the hell happened to Nina? Well, Nina vanished after, I think the ruse was kind of... Basically, the whole Panesar thing, the reason it was weird is because Nina was supposed to be there for a while. There was supposed to be a fire at the GP surgery, and, like, Ranveer was gonna, like... He was going to be killed off anyways, but, you know, he was being killed off for the money. I don't think either got the money necessarily. So they kind of... But ultimately, Kirat left, so they had to really quickly scramble to do it. So it does... I won't lie. Out of all things to say, it doesn't really make sense. It didn't really exist that long. Like, out of all the things to kind of be like, this is dumb. This, yeah, this, I'll tentatively agree. As much as you can handshake a Redditor.
I wouldn't.
And obviously, the final bit about Felix. Why would there be any need to mention Finley? Nobody remembers who Finley is. Not even you remembered who Finley was, Redditor. So, of course they're not remembering. Who's he gonna talk to about Finley? All his family's gone. He's by himself. I'm sure he's giving him like a phone call every night. Well, maybe not every night. I'm sure he's ringing him. It's just, why would we want to see that on screen? Because it would be Felix talking to Finley, who's not on our screens anymore and was axed after about 9 months. So, yeah, of course he's not mentioned his brother. He kind of left in a bit of a huff.
I'm just going to mute my mic on Discord. Just continue to talk because I need to cough.
I suppose, but yeah, like, it's just because stuff does disappear in soap. I'm not gonna argue against that. It definitely does. There are some storylines that we weren't going to expect to be there, but they ended up happening, or storylines that initially started and then got scrapped. Been teasing this one for a while. There's only like 1 week left till that video comes out, so you know, abandoned storylines, it's coming. But I don't know, like vanishing. Like sometimes there is no long-term goal with a story. Sometimes you're just doing it for the spectacle at the time. Sometimes it's just a little minor piece in the plot at the moment that tells a little story, but is ultimately not going anywhere. Like, remember when Suki slept with Peter?
Tall Peter.
They didn't forget that Suki slept with... Yeah, tall Peter. They didn't forget that Suki slept with Peter. It was never supposed to be that big of a thing. It was supposed to just be like, hey, I slept with your boyfriend, Ash. Like, that was basically it. It was in the feud. They didn't forget that it happened. It happened for a reason. But it's ultimately how big of a deal. It's not going to be the long-term Christmas storyline. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, and Lauren had mentioned it to Peter before anyway, so was mentioned. I don't really know of anything that just disappeared that makes no sense. The only thing that never made sense to me, and this is only purely watching Christmas 2022, is Denny's kid. Forget what he's called.
I don't remember the kid's name, but I remember Jada.
Yeah, Jada, basically, if you don't know.
Or is it Alyssa? I don't know. One of them.
What?
Is Alyssa the kid's name?
Basically, Denny basically shagged when he was 10. Or 15.
He was 13 or 14.
Yeah. No, when was 2004? What year would I have been? In 2020, what I've been. I would have been... So you would have been 20, obviously. Because I would have been 18. Running 18, about 17, 18. So yeah, he would have been about...
But he
13,
was still
14.
hypothetically 13 when he conceived the kid.
Yes, that's why.
Which does happen, but bit of a weird one.
Yeah, it never really made sense to me, especially because the kid was 2 when the one walked in, which is understandable, kids 2 age. But I just never liked that they went, yeah, we killed off Denny. Ah, bollocks, we don't have Den watch.
Well, it's a really stupid way to be like, no, but Denny, it's still the Denny legacy. It's the great granddaughter of Den Watts. Like, yeah, kind of, but not technically.
It's just,
I don't know, man.
It's just when you deep dive into like what's been forgotten and what's been remembered, you just realize you can't keep up with it, because things that you want to be remembered won't be remembered, and things you don't want to be remembered will be remembered. It's weird how it works like that, and that's a weird tongue twister. But it's like, obviously what I famously want remembered, and it's been done to death, so I won't stay on it too long. Obviously 2018 obviously never mentioned again. Barely mentioned, and by barely mentioned, Haley's mentioned like once or twice, because they're doing this whole thing about, ooh, is it Haley? Is it Zoe? Who knows? Ooh, but that's never mentioned, and it's just forgotten for obvious reasons. No one really wants to know.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I can't lie.
But it's just stuff like that. They pick and choose what has to be remembered in EastEnders history, basically. Like, another one is, famously, Pauline would never remarry or date someone else after Arthur. But obviously, the writers kind of met her date after Arthur. But if you look back now, no one really mentions the second husband or boyfriend of Pauline. It's just revision history, where it's like, yeah, Pauline did date after Arthur, but shut up. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's kind of like when you are in a British school, and obviously the British are teaching about history, and it's like, don't know why the Irish hated us, don't know why the Indians hated us, don't know why the Americans hated us. We were just lovely to all of them, and it's just basically that.
At the end of the day, everything you have to remember about English history is we won every war. We're never the villains. Never the villains. We were never the villains. But we did save everyone. And wasn't it fun when we ruled the world?
My favorite, sorry, just a side note, my favorite thing about doing history in secondary school was bloody, like, they'd have Irish history, obviously, but I'd be like, Irish history, American history, Irish history at the very bottom, because it's basically like, we were ruled by the British.
When you go to Boston.
Yeah, because they're like, the Boston Tea Party's famously mentioned. I'm like, talk about Hitler, please. That's why I'm here. And they never did. Because you had to get a higher education to talk about it. And I was like, fuck you, I can't get a higher education. So that's a weird tangent. But yeah, I used to be fuming in history class because I only wanted to be there for World War II.
It's good to know about history.
Yeah. So I'm saying,
do you want to read a couple of these little silly comments?
I will. Obviously, if I find a wacky name, I'll read the name out. But yeah, Ravi finding Suki at the bottom of the stairs, and there being the ambiguity. Sorry, over whether Nish pushed her. Cat and Harvey's limo business. What was the point of that? I think it's still running. I might be wrong.
It's still going. How much mileage is there going to be out of the limo service business?
What is Kathy?
Like, they needed to give Harvey something to do now that he's not a cabbie. So now he's with Kathy, and he has his own, and him and Kat shared limo business. It wasn't. It's not been forgotten. Look, we know how doom of the EastEnders subreddit has been about Ben Wadey so far. You're really saying you want a week's worth of episodes where they go, and this time Harvey's limo has been stolen. Harvey needs to get the limo back or the business is doomed. You'll just be like, what the fuck is this? What is this garbage? Like, it's not been forgotten. Stuff can last over time.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't know, mate. It's like how it's always the joke where if you're ever a wrestling fan, there's a very specific period of time where it basically if it's been more than 3 days, you will forget, so we have to remind you. Like, stuff can just lie. It doesn't need. We don't need mentions of it every week. I don't give a shit about Harvey's limo business. Who cares? They did the wedding. That was what it was there for. Job done. It's still happening.
I mean, what is Kathy going to do? Harvey, you fat fuck, get back into that limo. You've got fucking Tabby at 5:30. Come on, stop down and point, you fat bastard. Get in that fucking limo. Come on. Like, what do you expect? Like,
what do you want?
I don't know why, but just imagine if EastEnders was post-Watershed, just imagining the swear words Kathy would say to Harvey.
I mean, I've been watching some Brookside, and I've heard some swears. I've heard some swears in 1982 Brookside.
Oh no, some slurs. Oh Jesus.
No slurs.
Okay, fair enough. It's caused tension between Kat and Jean, which was resolved the following episode. The limo was stolen, never mentioned again. The limo was brought back, just to let you know. Jack and Nicola slept together, that was a thing. Okay.
Well, they weren't ever going to get together, were they? Nicola wanted a stopgap. She started flirting with an attractive man. Jack was feeling a little bit rotten about the Denise. I think this was while Jack and Denise split up. Jack was jealous over Denise getting all this attention from Ravi, so she went ahead and slept. So he went ahead and slept with Nicola. It wasn't going to be a relationship. It was just a simple. Jack went, oh yeah, I didn't actually feel it. Like, it was good fun, fair play, but you know, I do like Denise. And then they obviously went to get back together. So of course they didn't do it since, because since Jack has been mostly off our screen since the anniversary, and second, now technically been loved up with Denise.
Yeah, and just reading some more. Teddy apparently has gone to his rooms to listen to the records, a la Tracy Barlow.
Yeah, he has.
Nugget, I mean, he literally caused the death of Nish.
Also, I will also argue the one nice, surprising bit of self-reflection of the Redditors is there are a bunch of Redditors who just go, I just don't remember this. Like, yeah, we know. Stop saying they forgot about it, because you forgot about it. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, and back to it, Nugget. He literally caused the death of Nish. Didn't really.
He didn't. How did he cause the death of Nish?
Granddad, Dada G, don't go up on that roof, please. I mean, he literally Nish literally locked Finney in a fucking warehouse. What are you on about? In a shed. And
how did he cause the death of Nish?
I'm gonna review the replies.
He didn't force him up to that wedding and push him off the balcony. That was Ravi.
I was just like laughing. I'm like, how did he cause the death? Was he just floating there like when you're playing Gmod? Did he just spawn in?
He's a devil in his shoulder.
Don't go on the roof.
Like, what? I don't understand. What does this mean?
He's just like, do it. Go on the roof, Granddad. Go on the roof, Granddad. You can.
How?
Granddad, you can do it. Come to the dark side.
Yeah, sure. Nish like lingering in the Hunter apartment, like getting all grimy. Yeah, sure, that was a little bit weird. But nobody knew that he was there, and of course, nobody really went to think about it because Denise got smashed over the head. Then he went to the wedding, then got pushed off the side. The police aren't exactly on the flat that he was staying at before, was he?
But it's just so silly.
Like, maybe just think about the fact that Nugget was initially very angry and very against. Meh. Fine with you now. I was very angry then, but I'm fine with you now. Do something like that, not the fact that he was harboring a criminal. Nobody knew that Nish was there. I know it was a little ridiculous, but nobody knew.
Yeah. And then death of Nish and loads of potential others after harboring him as a criminal, and yet absolutely not was done about it. Just crack on. What? WTF? What the fuck? And then,
there were bigger fish to fry.
And then,
like the fact he died.
And then Alfie stealing Phil's money. Is that ever gonna get paid back?
No, it's Alfie. Alfie hasn't paid a debt in his life.
Okay.
Alfie just cuts up the credit cards and hope it goes away.
I mean, yeah, true, yeah.
It's also 10 grand. That's a drop in a fucking bucket for Phil. Phil's the bank account for any ransoms in Walford. Oh, what you need? What 50 grand? All right, there you go, Keanu. Oh, need 100 grand, Sam. Yep, there we are. It's just what he does.
I'm amazed of how rich he is. In
the bank of Phil.
Yeah. Freddie hitting Theo. Did I miss the resolution to that? He went on the run and then it got cleared.
Yeah, he went to stay with Little Mo, and obviously Theo vanished and then got sent to prison.
Yeah. Jack being suspended.
I will say that bit, that the Theo exit was the weird one. That was a fucking vanishing, because obviously he escalates his harassment of Stacey, goes to assault her, and then Freddie sees this, intervenes, shades of Little Mo against Trevor with the iron, beats fuck out of him, and then obviously Freddie goes on the run, and Theo gets kind of swept up by the police, and then he's suddenly very quickly sentenced, and then you go, oh, Theo's like the villain for Stacey in the Six. Nah. Jack Brannon. What? Yeah.
it especially as a fan of Theo, it's a fairly weird exit because they literally just rushed it because they had no potential in believing he could be a villain for Stacey at Christmas. But I'm like, you spent the past 8 months building him up. Surely you can. Like, surely the ending can be at New Year's he gets arrested. Something like that. He just... Yeah. But you know what also makes the fucking Theo storyline more funnier, and I brought it up numerous times? It's the fact Martin Fowler is the only one who isn't oblivious to him. Martin fucking Fowler. I've brought it up 1,000 times. It's Martin fucking Fowler who can simply... Like, it's like when Clark Kent puts on his glasses so he's to distract you that he's not Superman. Like, he's the only one who can tell he's Superman. Like, he fucking sees right through his plan and states he's just a good guy. You just don't understand him. And I was like, no, he's not. And I'm like, how is Martin the only one? And it just wound me up. And it still winds me up that Martin is the only one who knew. But yeah, I'll read some more. Jack being suspended for hitting Harvey. Now he's back. Yeah, because his suspension is over.
Do you know what a suspension is?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a suspension. It's a suspension. It's not permanent, is it?
I still can't believe Fat Boy got killed.
My blood pressure's going through the roof.
Are you ready for this one? Still can't believe Fat Boy got killed. I think by Vincent. I remember he was in the boot of the car, and the character never got mentioned or dealt with again.
Well, yeah, because he's dead, isn't he? And who's going to react to Fat Boy being dead? No one, because they didn't think about it for ages.
Yeah.
Like he was put in the boot, but like Vincent was supposed to be in the boot that Ronnie sent the car to get crushed. It was Fat Boy instead. And then we see Vincent realise that it's Fat Boy in the car, and he's kind of devastated. But by that point, Doc kind of, it was kind of all water under the bridge. People didn't really think about it. Like, it's, yeah. Just, he doesn't have many fans, but he does have some.
Yeah, and I think that's where we leave it, folks. If you want more of these videos, check out our channel. We have thousands of them. And we will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Bye bye.